Now imagine you live on the Pacific coast. The sea breeze drifting through your window, the sound of waves crashing on the shore, and seagulls flying over the bay. You stroll through a charming town where time seems to really slow down. Has cobblestone streets, swaying palm trees, and a relaxed vibe where everyone knows each other. Well, welcome to La Cruz de Huanacaxtle, a special gem in the Riviera Nayarit that has captivated travelers and, of course, expats worldwide. La Cruz is known for its world-class marina, incredible dining scene featuring fresh seafood, calm beaches perfect for unwinding, and local markets full of organic and artisanal products. And unlike other more touristy areas in Mexico, life here moves at a very relaxed pace. It's very safe and has a strong sense of community. Now, many foreigners come for a vacation and then they end up staying for good. But what is life here really like on a day-to-day basis? How much does it cost? What types of properties can you find? What's it like to spend your days on this Pacific getaway? Well, in this video, you'll get a complete guide to La Cruz de Huanacaxtle, from cost of living to local culture, and the best tips if you're considering to move to this paradise. So what do you say? Let's get started. La Cruz, as a lot of locals call it, is located about 15 miles or about 45 minutes north of Puerto Vallarta in the state of Nayarit. With a population of about 3,000 people, La Cruz blends the essence of a Mexican coastal town with a growing number of foreigners and tourists seeking a laid-back seaside lifestyle. Now, its prime location offers warm weather year-round and access to some of the region's best beaches. The town is renowned for its fresh seafood market, lively music scene, and proximity to other touristic destinations like Sayulita and, of course, Puerto Vallarta. But despite its growth, La Cruz maintains its authenticity with streets brimming with lush tropical vegetation and, again, a very friendly community. So now that you know where it's located, let's discuss what it's like to live here on a daily basis. A lot of you are going to be interested on the weather. Now, average temperatures range somewhere in the upper to mid-70s to the mid-80s during the cooler months from December to February. Nighttime can drop between 64 to in the 60 degrees Fahrenheit. While in the hottest summer months, especially in May and June, daytime temperatures can easily reach over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, often feeling warmer, especially due to the humidity. Now, the weather here is divided into two main seasons: dry and rainy seasons. From November through May, the dry season is a favorite amongst tourists with sunny days, pleasant temperatures, and lower humidity. Now, the rainy season, which goes from June through October, with September being the wettest month, is usually when downpours tend to be heavy but short and usually happening in the afternoons or the evenings. So it gives you the morning to be able to run a lot of your chores. Now, this season can also bring tropical storms or hurricanes from the Pacific. However, they rarely make direct landfall in the area. Now, are you wondering if this is a good spot for you and other foreigners? Well, let's move on to discuss how welcoming La Cruz is for international residents. Now, this area, being so close to other popular touristic destinations, has a large community of bilingual people. In La Cruz, most shops, markets, restaurants, and services are used to serving foreigners, and English can be widely spoken. Now, locals are accustomed to meeting international visitors, especially on weekends, when many temporary residents come in from Puerto Vallarta, Sayulita, and other nearby areas. Now, in addition to being very welcoming, La Cruz offers multiple gathering spots for expats, like local produce markets, there's some cultural events, and live music bars. So it's easy to fit in, make friends, and enjoy the perfect blend of traditional Mexican life with the comforts of a worldly destination in this small village, especially since the people of La Cruz are very friendly towards newcomers. So next, let's talk about where you might put down some roots while living here. We'll look at some of the neighborhoods and housing options in town. So if you were to move to La Cruz de Huanacaxtle, where would you live? Well, for some basic apartments or smaller homes, you can expect to pay anywhere between $500 to about $800 a month. which is approximately 10,000 to 16,000 pesos. Now, this would be a modest 1 to 2 bedroom place, possibly including some basic furnishings and utilities, though utilities are usually separate. And this would be found in town. Now, usually you won't find these houses online. You would find them by doing a quick walk around town and looking for signs that say "Se renta." If you wanted to find a mid-range to more upscale condo or house, you can expect to pay anywhere between $900 to $1,500 a month, which is anywhere around 18,000 to about 30,000 pesos. Now, these usually include amenities such as a common pool, a gym, their 24/7 security, and maybe closer to the marina or in more exclusive neighborhoods. Now, for those of you who like high-end or more luxury rentals, you can easily find those in the developments like Alamar, Borneo, or Punta Pelicanos. And these usually go for upwards of $2,000 a month. And of course, these are typically in gated communities. They have luxury amenities with resort-like amenities like a very, very nice pool, very nice gym, really nice green areas, 24/7 security, and those kinds of things. So by now, you might be wondering how much you'll spend on monthly bills if you choose to live here. So let's break down the cost of utilities. Now, starting with electricity, that is supplied by the Federal Electricity Commission, or also known as the CFE. Now, costs usually vary based on usage, especially in hotter months when air conditioning is used more often. Bills come every 2 months and prices usually range between $75 to about $175, depending on property size and of course your personal consumption. For water is provided by Oro Mapas. Monthly bills are generally very low, falling between $10 to about $20 a month for a standard home. In some private residential areas, you might see some extra fees for maintenance and infrastructure, so the total for water could be a little bit higher. Now, for gas is supplied by refillable tanks, and depending on the size of tank and usage, refills will cost you around $20 to about $30 a month. And a full tank usually lasts a family of 2 or a family of 3 about a month. Now, gas is included in maintenance fees in certain residential developments, making it super simple for residents who are living in some of these gated communities. Internet, now for La Cruz has multiple internet providers, including Total Play, Telmex, and Easy. And monthly costs vary by plan and provider, but you can typically expect to pay anywhere between $25 to $160 a month, depending on the speed and of course the provider. Now, before you go ahead and supply your own internet, make sure you ask your landlord if this is included in your rent. And if it is included, make sure you run a speed test to know exactly what you're getting. Now, with all these expenses, we think it's very possible to live in this part of Mexico for under $2,000 a month for a couple. If you opt for a mid-range or more upscale rental, have high air conditioning usage, you go out to eat very frequently, then your monthly cost can easily reach $2,500 a month or more. Now, for a luxury lifestyle with the higher-end rentals and frequent entertainment, then you'll push beyond that price. Now, even though rentals and the overall cost of living in Mexico can be very budget-friendly, you'll still need to factor in the country's residency visa requirements. If you want the latest and most accurate information on the Mexican residency visa requirements, be sure to check out our free resources. You'll find the link in the description of this video. Now, before we get into what you will do for shopping or what kind of shopping options you have, I would love to know where in the world you were watching us from. Let me know in the comments. And if you are finding this video of La Cruz de Huanacaxtle to be helpful, please give it a like. Don't forget to check out all our other videos at our website, MexicoRelocationGuide.com. All right, now let's talk about something that truly defines everyday life for not only you and me, but everyone, which is your grocery shopping and what options you will have when living here. Now, in La Cruz de Huanacaxtle, buying local is highly valued. While there aren't big international supermarket chains within town, you have plenty of ways to get fresh, Local products and larger malls and grocery stores are nearby if you need them. The main market in La Cruz is Mercado del Mar, located in the marina. It's a go-to stop for fresh seafood, much of it caught locally in Nayarit, like red snapper, shrimp, and lobster. You can have it cleaned, the market is well organized, and people are very friendly, so it's perfect if you love to buy local and you love to have fresh seafood. Besides the Mercado del Mar, you'll also find mini supermarkets for everyday essentials like last-minute produce, spices, fresh meat, chicken, and regional fruits and vegetables. Now, for these kinds of markets, it's best to bring cash in Mexican pesos because most of these smaller shops do not accept credit cards or debit cards. Now, on Sundays, La Cruz turns into a bustling hub of shopping and culture with a market stretching almost a mile long along the marina. It's a memorable scene visited by many foreigners, which gives it a nice multicultural atmosphere. You'll see all sorts of items from crafts, clothing, and accessories to regional products like artisan bread, including some gluten-free options. And there's also local artists that showcase their talents, offering unique pieces and all kinds of crafts. Now, live music along the Malecón adds a festive, cheerful vibe, perfect for an afternoon stroll. And then, of course, you can also find a lot of really good food. Now, even though La Cruz doesn't have large supermarkets, you're only 10 minutes away from bucerias, where you'll find popular chains like La Comer, Chedraui, and Soriana. And then another option is Sam's Club, which is in Nuevo Vallarta, which is about 30 minutes away. And these stores carry imported products, international brands, and a much greater variety, ideal if you prefer goods from other parts of the world or if you just need more variety in your pantry. You'll also find plenty of convenience stores in La Cruz for groceries, household items, and things like that. Now, while La Cruz does maintain a relaxed, traditional vibe without big chain stores, you can find the kinds of brands that you're used to like Starbucks and Domino's 10 minutes away in Bucerias, and McDonald's in Nuevo Vallarta, which is again 30 minutes away. You'll also find stores like Oxxo and Kiosco, which are great for quick stops and snacks, drinks, hygiene products, and things like that. So what about medical services? Well, in La Cruz, you do have a couple of healthcare options. Although the local infrastructure is smaller than what you're probably used to in bigger cities, it still has a good ability or good access to basic care with more advanced services just a short drive away. In La Cruz, basic healthcare often comes through pharmacies. You'll find well-stocked options like Farmacias PBR and Farmacias Similares, both offering a wide range of medicines and health products. Farmacias Similares also provides medical consultations without insurance for about $3. Now, these pharmacies are open daily with consultations typically going from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a great convenient option for minor illnesses or routine checkups that won't cost you a lot of money, especially if you don't have insurance. For more advanced medical services, you do have Hospital CMQ or Hospital CMQ in Bucerias, which is only about 15 minutes away by car. Now, this international level hospital has modern facilities. It has a specialized clinic, an emergency room, and experienced healthcare pros covering everything from general consultations to specialized surgeries. So you have a couple of options when living in La Cruz that aren't too far away, but you do have some pharmacies in town that can give you some routine checkups and things like that. And moving around is another key part of life. So let's see how you get here and the different ways to travel in and around La Cruz. Now, one thing to note is La Cruz does not have its own airport, but Puerto Vallarta's International Airport is only 30 minutes away by car or taxi. And transportation within La Cruz is limited but very straightforward. Now, you won't see taxis cruising around or rideshare services like Uber, Didi, or InDrive. However, there is a private taxi stand on the main avenue where you can call or walk up to get a ride. Prices are very affordable, and routes include nearby places like Bucerias, Sayulita, Nuevo Vallarta, Puerto Vallarta, and beyond. A budget-friendly way to get around is through shared vans along the Nayarit coast, connecting towns like Nuevo Vallarta, and Sayulita. And the fare is only 14 pesos, which is less than $1, making it a cheap option if you travel frequently in the area. Now, if you need to head further away, like to Tepic, which is the capital of Nayarit, or to Guadalajara, you can go to the bus station in Nuevo Vallarta, where buses depart for these and other destinations. If you prefer more independence, then renting a scooter or a car is an excellent choice if you don't already have your own. While you won't find many rental agencies in La Cruz, you can rent vehicles in Nuevo Vallarta, and daily rates for scooters start at around $25, while car rentals vary depending on the type of vehicle and, of course, time of the year and the demand. So what would you do for fun if you were living in La Cruz de Huanacaxtle? What are some things to do? Well, when you head down to the marina, which is one of the first places you'll want to explore, you'll catch the sun setting behind the yachts and might even decide to grab a bite at one of the waterfront spots. If you're feeling adventurous, you can try fishing or hitch a ride on a charter boat, but you don't have to be a sailor to enjoy the laid-back coastal vibe. If you're craving some beach time, Playa Manzanilla is only a short walk away, and many of the local restaurants there will even lend you a kayak if you dine with them. You'll also find the Sunday market to be a real treat. It offers fresh seafood, artisan bread, sometimes even, again, I mentioned gluten-free, which is important to a lot of us who cannot handle gluten, and live music that fills the marina with fun and a festive atmosphere. You'll be chatting with locals and fellow expats in no time, especially if you stop by Oso's Oyster Bar in the evenings for a little live music and a cold drink. Now sure, La Cruz doesn't have big clubs or a flashy nightlife, but you'll quickly discover that get-togethers often revolve around potlucks, casual dinners, or just hanging out on someone's patio. It's perfect if you're seeking a genuine connection with a lower-key social life. Now, if you do ever crave big city excitement, Puerto Vallarta is just a half hour away. Now, if you're planning to move to Mexico, whether it's for a lower cost of living, better healthcare, or a tight-knit community, La Cruz de Huanacaxtle offers a unique blend of all three. To make your move smoother, be sure to download our free Moving to Mexico cheat sheet or sign up for our email series on living in Mexico. Again, you'll find the links in the description and in the comment section of this video. Now, of course, La Cruz is not perfect by any means, and even though it is a quaint and charming town, living here does have some potential cons. So here are some of the things that people mention as downsides of living here. Starting with limited healthcare options. Now, you can find pharmacies and basic medical care in La Cruz, but for anything serious, you'll need to head to nearby Bucerias or Puerto Vallarta. Now, if you're moving here for better healthcare, make sure you're okay with driving at least 15 to 30 minutes whenever you need more advanced services. Another con is some people also don't love that there are fewer big city amenities. Now, La Cruz doesn't have things like a huge supermarket, malls, or chain stores right in town. If you like being able to shop at major retailers, have 20 options of everything and the best quality of electronics, or you want more nightlife options, you'll have to drive to a bigger city or town. This smaller town vibe appeals to many people, but it can also be an adjustment if you're used to having everything within a close drive. And then, of course, there is the heat and humidity. From June through October, the humidity and rain can get pretty intense. If you're not a fan of hot, sticky days, or if you're worried about heavy downpours, this weather might be challenging. Now, a good air conditioner can be your best friend, but that also impacts your monthly living costs. But then again, this isn't a downside for everyone. Personally, I have very dry skin and I cannot live in a very arid or dry climate. I prefer humidity any day over dry and hot weather. But that's not to say that the heat and humidity cannot be intense. I mean, it's pretty intense for someone who's not used to it. So we do recommend scouting this area during the hottest time of the year to see if you could see yourself living here full time. So hopefully this gives you a good overview of what living in La Cruz de Huanacaxtle has to offer. This charming spot in the Riviera Nayarit is perfect if you're looking for a laid-back and authentic Mexican lifestyle. Far from the hustle and bustle of big touristic centers, but not too far that you're totally isolated. It's a very relaxed atmosphere, it has gorgeous views, and a really welcoming community. Now, it may not have huge tourist attractions or events, but its magic is found in its charm and its small community vibe. Now, if you're considering a move here or staying a while, La Cruz has plenty to offer anyone who values tranquility, closeness to nature, and again, the people, the warm and friendly people. So thank you so much for joining us on this journey of La Cruz. Feel free to keep watching our videos on Mexico, relocationguide.com. And if you're interested on going on a relocation tour, check out the links that I have in the comments and in the description of this video. I hope to see you all on our next video. My name is Mariana. You are watching Mexico Relocation Guide, and I will see you all very soon. Nos vemos!